you. Today we're going to have a quick chat and a quick catch up with Elvis. We haven't talked to him for a bit. He's been through an awful lot. A lot's been happening. He's been arrested on false charges, slander, defamation of character. Really having a difficult time. A man Christian who ran away from an Islamic country to what he believed was freedom is now ending up in the same situation in the UK. Absolutely crazy times we're living in. And he's here to actually tell us as well what's happening with Assad from WikiLeaks. So we'll have a quick catch up and find out what's going on. So welcome back, Elvis. How have you been?
Hello, good afternoon to you. Hiya. Not bad, thanks. It's been a busy, very busy time. Sadly, most of my time was wasted with the sorts of solicitors and police and kind of interview with them. I've been falsely accused and series of things, actually complete lie. But even police has lied to me, and the good thing is they admitted that at least the police officer who was interviewing me, he wasn't happy about what happened to me, and he said that was unnecessarily and it should have been done. Which actually one of the guys, I remember they arrested him, very similar thing. He was called inside the van after they spotted him in the crowd, and they give him a detail and got some details, and they called him for the interview. And no arrest, no handcuffs, no necessarily sleeping in a cell. And they done that to me, which was really harsh. And apart from the arrest, it was very harsh how they handled me, especially the police officer who handled me. I'm going through physiotherapy with my shoulder pain and wrist pain, and also other psychological damages that they've done in one night. So yeah, I've been busy with all those unnecessarily things that shouldn't really happen.
Tell us about Assad. What was happening with Assad?
Is Assange. Basically, he was stripped from his political asylum by the Ecuadorian president. Apparently, he made a deal with a Korean president, and it looks like they agreed on some money or whatever that he's going to be paid, and also with America. And he was accusing him that he violated some rules and regulations, and he stripped him from his rights and his asylum. And then the police, the British police, the secret police actually they raided the embassy and they got him out, and he looked really awful. If you look at his picture, he's worn out. He looks like a 90 years old man. He had he got the white hair, white beard, and he's worn out really. 7 years apparently he's been refusing of any medicals, and I think I know why. Possibly he was afraid of possibly injecting with something, or they do something to him without he knows it. Including possibly, even you wouldn't know, possibly they inject him with a small microphone or something under his skin or something. Well, anything is possible with these evil people that now ruin us.
Unbelievable, Elvis. But you think Trump would help him out, because he was a huge part of why Trump was elected. All the stuff that he leaked out about what Hillary Clinton was up to. You think that Trump would step in and kind of help him out?
Well, you see, about the Trump, to be honest with you, I think even he's not fully trustable. I don't think if he's fully trustable. You never know. This might be a part of the show. God knows. Anything is possible from these evil people, because whatever he promised, he's not fully complied. He was saying why we should be spending our money, such and such millions or billions in Afghanistan and things, and we're wasting our money and energy in there, and we're creating our enemies, We shouldn't
Yeah.
be there. We shouldn't be fighting for other countries while we need to rebuild our armies and sort of military services and stuff. And then what he did, he's still in Afghanistan. He's still in Syria. He betrayed the Kurds. He withdrew from, and the Kurds were beaten by the Turkish. It's you can't fully trust any of these people. You really can't.
And what about Theresa May? Like, what is going on with this Brexit? Jesus Christ! I tell you, the British are furious.
Now she got a further extension to next October. Can you believe it? To October, which is
crazy.
Sort of almost coming to a year by then.
Well, they want to keep the British in until the European elections for some reason. They want to keep them in.
Yeah.
So whatever they can do, and also till the Lisbon Treaty, which takes place in 2020. And then they have no choice but to do it. They're told once the Lisbon Treaty kicks in, so they really need them kept in for another year. And then they're hell-belled and tied up like the rest of us once they're kept in. And so Brexit will not mean anything once the Lisbon Treaty kicks in 2020. So they have to try and
what it is. Well, what it is, again, this is another possibility of a betrayal. You see, can be another show. What I think they doing, they self-destructing themselves. If you look at the Conservative, now is divided. Yeah, over 20 people of Conservative basically backed off. There is a division in the Labour Party. Labour Party also got a problem with the anti-Semitism and with the Semitism and all that sort of business. And you can see they are dividing and they are collapsing one by one. But it might be another show, you see, because what Theresa May is doing, as you said, they're waiting for the European election. And what she's going to do, literally to give us up completely to the hands of European Parliament, and they start ruling us. So our Parliament doesn't need to be there. It doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if it doesn't exist because the Europe going to be taken over. It's the same as our army. I spoke to one of my friends that apparently his son, he used to be in Royal Air Force, and now they made him redundant, and they said your service no further needed. And this chap, he looks like he was trying to take his own life. He was saved, but as you can see, is another similar thing to the Parliament. They destroyed the army because it's going to be European army.
Yeah.
Can you see?
They want everybody in the European.
So literally, they transform into the European army, European Parliament.
Yeah.
So don't need any more of our Parliament. We don't need nothing basically. Everything going to be formality, and we're going to be just
all they have to do is keep the UK in for another year, and then Brexit is worth nothing. Everything is destroyed. Europe is gone.
Yeah.
Without a fight. Where if the UK get out, Europe has a chance, I suppose, and that's the way they have to make sure that they're stuck in for another year until Lisbon Treaty happens in 2020.
On the other hand, what's happening, if you look, the Italian government, now they're calling for the unity of the nationalists, and he is calling for the other nationalist European to rise up and defend and rejoin them to defend the Europe. Is coming to the similar situation as we were once upon a time with the Crusaders. At the time, Europe was invaded by the Islamic army for 400 years. 75% of Europe was invaded. Yeah. And at the end, the Pope called for the unity, and he says, enough. So they build a wall around the Rome, and they started kicking off the Muslim. I think the impact of these refugee stuff and this invasion, I would call, replacement. Some people call it white replacement, whatever you want to call it, is now coming to a better feeling. People now feeling it. Even those liberals.
Do you think the UK are beginning to feel it? I don't know in Ireland whether they really are woke up. They really are. There's so many stupid people. Really, they actually
No. They will feel it. No, they will feel it. They will feel it, because what's happening is, you see, I was watching a video from Canada, that the journalist, she was asking, should we get any refugees in our homes? And she was asking from all different type of group, from Indians, from Arabs, from original Canadian, and all that. And the answer was yes, we should. Yeah, we should. We definitely should accept them. Yeah, we should take him home. And later, what she did, she brought this guy, and she called him Mo. She said, yeah, Mo is one of the refugees. Can you take him home with you? And the minute they saw this guy, they were saying, maybe not right now, but later, yeah, we should. And the other ones start coming, oh, yeah, I only got a one-bedroom flat. And the other ones say, oh, I only got a studio flat. No, sorry, I got a guest and everything. So can you see, this is the same story. This is the same story. These liberals sitting on one side and just clapping for the actors, and sort of, yeah, well done, yeah, do it, yeah, refugees welcome. Will you take one home? No, sorry, I'm busy. I got a small place, I got guests, and all that sort of business. Back home, we got the impression saying death is good for the neighbor. So the thing is coming to the fact that people are feeling it. They can feel it. The crime, apparently, police has said something. Is not official, but basically, some people, apparently, some rumors been talking that we at the moment got the highest rate of knife crime and gun crime in London. Right.
Well, I don't know about gun crime, but knife crime, I think London has, scoring and acid attacks. You're actually, even higher than a lot of Islamic countries.
Right. Yeah. And what they're saying is been over 5,000 to 8,000, apparently, other sort of report that they're not even revealing them. They're not talking about it. So the police doesn't say everything, So just nevertheless, we got
the grooming gangs and all that sort of stuff. Because of the population in the UK of the Islamic background. But, a lot of the leftists, they're so stupid. Talking to them in Ireland, they actually think Islam is a country. Now, this is how stupid some of them are. And then others, one of my video was up yesterday about the hijabs and how stupid it is bringing it into Irish schools. And those typical stupid leftists got up and said, oh, where are you getting all your information? YouTube doesn't know everything. And it's and she had a big Palestine flag on, a complete stupid leftist, which we have a lot of them in Ireland. They don't even know where Palestine is if you give them a map. And they're all on Palestine flag. Oh, take down the Irish flag. Flag this Palestine flag. It's just unbelievable.
It's not only Ireland. It's not only Ireland. It's here as well. We got all these Labour people. They got ashamed to raise their own Union Jack, but all of them raising the Palestinian flag. You see. Jeremy Corbyn comes and says his favorite person was Irish what they call it, the IRA president, and No, Jerry Adams. Yeah.
Jerry Adams is a traitor. Probably it does like him,
Yeah,
because Jerry Adams left Loopy Lou in charge of that, and it's just become a joke. At one stage, at least, Sinn Féin was like, representing something different. Now they might as well be Fianna Fáil, Fine Gael. They're exactly the same leftist crap as the rest of them, and it's all because of bloody Loopy Lou. Sure, she's giving a jihadi a house, not like a jihadi ISIS bride who is coming back to Ireland because the Irish government have decided to harbour terrorism now. So we're now a legitimate target for ISIS, or for people who are fighting ISIS. So they're bringing back this ISIS bride who was originally Irish, but she married 2 jihad men. So like 2 of them. So, and the second one was so-called British. He was more British than bloody I am. He was no more British, I should say, than I am. He wasn't British at all. But anyway, so she married this guy and she has a baby. Now she wants to come home. And this Loopy Lou is going to give her one of her houses.
That's right.
Crazy stuff.
It's coming, all these things actually coming to a new chapter now. Yeah. Today, what happened to Assange is going to affect the journalism. Already the journalists started sort of panicking because it's going to affect anybody really. It means even those liberal, those mainstream journalists and the medias, they should now watch their mouth, what they're saying. We had our Home Secretary, this guy, I forgot even his name. What's his name? Sajid Javid. Yeah, Sajid Javid. That's right. Yeah, I forgot his name all of a sudden. Yesterday, he came with a very harsh tone, kind of almost ultimatum to the social medias that we've been telling you, we have said enough. And now, if you carry on, we're going to come down like a tons of bricks on you. And we're going to be such and such. And you see, now the tone has changed. Now is the tone of the Pharaoh and Caesar. Is not a tone of a member of parliament or the minister of a European civilized democratic country.
No.
If you do that, we're going to come down on you. If you do that, I'm going to shut you up. You see, now this is the language we should be listened to. Yeah.
But I mean, as soon as they put a Muslim in as a Home Secretary, I was like, seriously. And then it was hilarious. He was going on about immigration, and it's like so obvious. It's like, he's only going to allow Islamic and Muslims into the country. Okay, he'll stop Eastern Europeans, the rest of Europe. He can't really stop the Irish, but if he can, he will. And he'll allow only Islamic countries into his country because he wants Britain to become Muslim. I'm like, how can the British not see this? It's like, oh my God, that is so. He was sworn in by the Quran. This is so obvious. Of course, he wants to control immigration. He only wants Muslims in the country.
You see, what these silly people still haven't woke up to the fact that the Muslims, first of all, they're saying moderate. There is no moderate Muslim. There is no
Islam is Islam.
Graded Muslims. There is one grade only, is a Muslim, and only there is one Islam. Yeah, these people still, they haven't woke up to the fact. Anyway, I think some of them, they now started sort of listening and educating themselves. But altogether is this, that there are certain facts and figures in Islam. Still, these people unfortunately don't know. That one of them is, as I've been always repeating it, is always there is one law in Islam saying, we smile in the face of non-believers while in the heart we curse them. Yeah. There are certain doctrine in Islam, is that kind of they played by numbers. They played softy, and as last time I said
Was it
the
once
difference,
there's superior, as they
yeah,
call
the
it, then there's
yes,
no peace once they have the larger numbers.
yeah,
Even
yeah,
that in the United States said something like that. It's time for Muslims in the United States to raise hell. They were her words.
yeah. You see, the Muslims, the difference is now between the European and the Muslims is this, that the last time, yeah, going back to the time of Crusaders when the Europe was invaded by Muslim, Europe should have learned from the lesson, yeah. It looks like Europe hasn't learned, yeah, from the
I think
previous.
this generation, something happened to this generation where they're just not. I think any other generation, including my father's generation,
Yeah,
there's no way it would have happened in the history of Europe, particularly I know in Ireland, like my father. There's just no way because they were fighting men, and that's the talk. Even if you listen to the old IRA, anyone who comes into my country, my land, my home, I will kill them, and that was their talk. Where now they would be shut down. Oh, that's racist. That's bigot. That's fascist. Where that was normal for them to talk like that. This generation, something has happened, and it's very well planned for a long time. There's a lot of leaders who've been put into place to make this little jigsaw happen, where the media is controlled, people are scared to speak out, and you have the bunch of leftists watching the most stupid media. A lot of them actually believe Islam is a country. They believe Muslims are a race. They're this
yeah.
stupid. And no matter how many times you explain the basics of it, they really can't get it. So when Jahid, the Home Secretary of the United Kingdom, is saying, controlled immigrations, we're going to do this, and this is why Brexit, it was like, he's talking about protecting Muslims. Why the majority of British voted out was because of immigration from Islamic countries, where what he's going to do is the absolutely opposite. But because they can't understand, they're too stupid, majority of leftists, they can't actually see. What he's saying is, I'm going to fully protect Muslims and bring them all in, and there will be no more Europeans allowed in the United Kingdom once I've got my control.
Yeah, you
Brexit
see a couple of things.
doesn't make any difference.
Yeah, you see a couple of things. You mentioned that what happened to those people? What happened to the Vikings of the Sweden? What happened to the Irish people who were saying, "I will kill my enemy. I will do whoever want to touch my country." Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to just give you a little reminder. Do you remember a few weeks ago we had a discussion on the UN, and part of that discussion was that how the UN started by the kids and children and brainwashed them. And the first thing they had in that booklet, do you remember? It was in that booklet that the sense of love of country and patriotism should be killed in the children. And then they were worried about the parents, and therefore they were saying sort of we should have a more in our hands than the parents, so the parents might sort of brainwash them in terms of patriotism and all that.
That's really come
That
to
is
play.
what this is what has been happening for the last 50-60 years. And this is the result. These kids, brainless kids, stupid kids, that now they come in clearly talking about, oh, this is my flag. If you raise it up, sort of you are a racist. Union Jack is not my way, but the Palestinian, yes. Oh, lovely. Well, let's wave the Palestinian flag, and let's support the Palestinian. Yeah. Anyway, that is one
Incredible, particularly from an Irish point of view, because I find this really strange. You'd like people who are like in like Sinn Féin, and these are governments who fought for the independence and all that sort of stuff. But one of them in North County Council said we should take down the Irish flag because it may upset the new Irish. But yet we could put up the Palestinian flag because, you know, outside City Hall in Dublin to show our, you know, our support to them. And they're even thinking that they even banned Israeli foods.
The Irish flag is not the only thing they're taking down, and it's not only in Ireland, by the way. It's happening in Cyprus. It's happening in Greece. You weren't expecting from Cyprus and Greece because they are one of the most stronghold Christians and Christianity in the world. Yeah, there are Coptic Christians and also the Greek Orthodox, you know, sort of, which is very, very, and people were religious. And now you can see they taking down all the crosses from the not only churches, from the landmarks. Yeah. Jesus. So it's happening. You see, when they take in something even further and deeper in their roots, which is the cross and their Christianity, when they taking that down, then you expect to take the flag easily down. The flag doesn't mean anything then. Yeah.
No.
And
you know, they're starting that in Ireland. There's an announcement they want the hijabs in Irish schools, and they want you know, the crosses, because most Irish schools have like crosses or saints on their jumpers, to be an optional. Like completely, you know, take as much Christianity away from schools, but let's start introducing bloody Islam into your schools. It's shocking.
Yeah.
And they're doing it because it's such a horrific fucking government. I swear to God, I hate Leo. He's absolutely disgusting. And even things he says about the UK, like really stirring up bloody hatred about, you know, trying to keep them in. Oh, he's horrible. Hate him. Absolutely hate him. And his hate for the Irish people, it just knows no bounds. He wants this country destroyed, and he's very much achieved what he set out to do. There's very little left.
We got almost nothing left. Not little left, almost nothing left. Almost everything has changed. You see, they have changed, reformed, and penetrated our schools. Yeah. It means the heart of our kids and the future generation, we're going to build that country. Yeah. So literally they reach the root of our existence, I would say. Yeah. They have changed the form of foods we eating. They forcing halal. Yeah. Now everywhere you go, you have to eat halal because, you know, doesn't matter even if it's the 5% of the Muslim existence in this population, still the majority should be following the 5% and eat halal, because otherwise you're going to hurt their feelings, or you're going to follow the Sharia law because that's the way it is. Can you see where we're heading? We have nothing left. We have really truly nothing left.
I thought the RSPCA in the United Kingdom were bringing that to court. The animal rights group were bringing the halal food. Is there truth in that? They took a long time to actually do it. We have loads in Ireland actually slaughterings by bloody halal. Like, it's just insane. Like as I said before, the Muslim Brotherhood is running from Dublin. We will become Islamic. I know Ireland will, because of our government, and there's so many stupid Irish people. Like, literally, after I do a show, like I did yesterday in Hijab, stupid leftist gets on and saying, oh, you're watching too many YouTube videos. Like, they're so dumb. They really don't know anything about Islam, they actually think, oh, you know, everybody's the same. It's the same world. It's like, it's nothing to do with everybody the same. Obviously, people are humans and they're all the same. But if you follow a different set of rules in life called Islam, you're following a very different thing. It's nothing to do. They're just so stupid. Some of them think it's a country or a race.
I got a little good news for you.
Yes.
Before you
Good,
become Islam, I think New Zealand is already submitted to Islam. So that woman now, she's so excited by wearing a hijab. She loves it. She doesn't go anywhere else without it. Secondly, she was talking about the Muhammad, and she was reciting that typical thing from the Quran, that whoever killed a soul, it has killed the whole humanity. Yeah. And what she was saying, she even couldn't resist. I mean, that was the first ever foreign person that I've seen saying it by Arabic this way. That Muhammad, and she didn't say peace be upon him. She said, Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And I was like, what? Say it again. She even saying that by Arabic. Listen to this. I think she's already submitted. If I'm honestly, it looks to me she already submitted. You know.
Absolutely.
And even I saw another video that this Muslim guy, he was talking to her, and she had a big smile up to her ears open, you know, kind of. And this guy was saying the other politicians should come and learn from you. I hope one day, and she was saying, one day I hope you enter Islam. And you should have seen that smile on her face. Do you get me? She literally, I don't know how deep and clear the people of New Zealand got that message. But as a matter of fact, this is what she done. Yeah, she called all the Muslim community into the parliament, and they recited Quran. Look, some people, unfortunately, I'm not joking. There's a video of it. You can watch it. And what she did, they were calling what they call it azan, because one of the guys, he called me and he said, can you tell me what is this, and can you explain it to me? And when he played it, and I said, yeah, I don't need any more, that is the azan. And he said, what is that? I said, that is the call for prayer. And part of that azan, what is it, is the shahada. Right?
Which Sinead O'Connor trying to learn how to play that off unsuccessfully.
Yeah.
She was trying to do that call of prayer. She wants to learn how to do it. Idiot.
Yeah.
Another bloody idiot. Actually, she's gone very quiet. I don't know what's happened to her. She's obviously fallen out of the love affair of Islam, or she's decided to become so Islamic that we're going to see her blow up at some point.
I'll tell you what's happening to her. That's why. I mean, what it is, part of that azan is called shahada. It says, there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is messenger of Allah. By saying that, in Arabic, you converting to Islam, you are recognized as a Muslim. You bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of Allah and there is no God but Allah. So what's happening when that is recited in the parliament? Parliament, if you explain it to anybody, say, what is parliament? Parliament is the place that all the people's representative getting in there, right? Isn't it? Is the government is the country's constitutional thing, right? And what's happening when they reciting such a thing in the parliament, it means your country has officially submitted to Islam. Furthermore, what else she has done? she took the reference of name of Jesus Christ from the prayer, from the in the morning when all the MPs going to the parliament, they do a prayer apparently. Yeah, she took that off.
Yeah, it's madness, absolutely madness. The whole world has gone crazy.
And now our journalism is under attack, and there is no more of a freedom of speech left, unfortunately, especially with what they're doing to Tommy Robinson as well. They literally closed him from everywhere, banned him from everywhere. So this is what's happening.
It's very, very scary. Where would you say is safe to move to? Do you think Eastern Europe is the place where people should be looking? Because I do think people now in Western Europe are going to have to start looking for new homes, because I can't see them waking up. Particularly in Ireland, there's too many stupid people. They don't actually understand the danger until their heads are being chopped off. Maybe at that moment they might wake up, but it'll be far too late for Ireland before you will get majority of people awake. Where do you think would be a safe place to move? Like, I'm looking at Eastern Europe, because the only reason is nothing to fight.
Somebody asked me this question. Somebody asked me this question that I want to move, and I said, well, tell you the truth, if anybody want to move out of the country because of what's happening there, literally you giving up, right?
I actually, for me, because I have children, I don't actually see a future in Ireland. I really don't. And I think I don't see a future in most of Europe. To be totally honest, most of Western Europe, I think it's gone. I think it's already gone. It's not going. It's already gone. I cannot see. Like, unless the government, I mean, there's only small people who are running this at the top, but there's just so many stupid leftists. Like, each comment I look at, you're just looking at them and you're like, man, really, is there so many people that's stupid? But there is. Elvis, they really don't understand Islam. And you could tell them 100 times over, they'd still say, well, there's still some very nice Muslims. I met a lovely one. It's like, oh my God, you're so stupid. Seriously, people. Like, seriously. They just don't get it. They think it's a race. They think it's a country. They just can't. No matter, you could explain to them 1,000 times over, and they still won't get it. They still think, well, what about what, the Catholic Church did? What about this? What they just can't, they can't actually, the penny just doesn't drop with them. It's like a mental block with them. They can't take the information in. And I've tried, Elvis. I've really tried.
No, they wouldn't get the information. They wouldn't get anything in because they haven't felt it. Their brain is in their ears and their eyes. This is how, if they look at something nice, they immediately judge it. Oh, it's nice. This person was very nice. This Muslim guy was very nice.
So
they
nice
don't
to me.
know the fact that, as I said, and I'll repeat it again, we smile in the face of non-believers while in the heart we curse them. When it comes to the full takeover, the same very nice person will be the first will come and hang you. With his own very hand. That's the reality. I don't deny that, kind of there are nice Muslim people, but they are not actually Muslim. They are not practicing it. They are not practicing it. They by name they are Muslim, because don't forget, once you are in a cult of Islam, it's like you are joining the mafia. You cannot leave. You leave, you signing your
I actually did a program on that about apostates, because and about having women having to leave and run away from Islam, and most of them get killed and get caught. But there was one lucky one that ended up in Canada recently. And I was trying to tell the story of why And again, you have stupid leftists going, this isn't real. This doesn't happen. It's just like, oh my God. There's just nothing you can do for these people. They are that dumb. They can't take the information in. They think that somehow magically, if you transport these people, that suddenly magically all their beliefs will disappear. And you know what? They'll think like us and they'll evolve. They're just so stupid. The left should really all be forced to go to an Islamic country. But even at that, there's some really nice Islamic countries that don't do all that stuff they're talking about. What about this? What about that? And it's like,
just a couple of days ago, I went to see my mom, and there is a guy, he's an Irish, very gay. He's very gay, right? Extremely gay. And his name is Patrick. And every time I see him, hello, Patrick, how are you? And I even joke with him and say, what Paddy are you? Anyway, I said, Paddy, I haven't seen you for some time. And he said, yeah, I went to holiday. I said, where did you go? And he said, Morocco. And my face was down. And I said, you naughty, naughty man. You shouldn't have, why you go to Morocco? Yeah. Why not? Why not, Elvis? And I said, look, he said, you don't like the people, no? And I said, no. And he said to me, very nice food, though. Can you see the stupidity?
Oh, they're
Can
so
you
stupid.
see? Look,
so stupid. The Taoiseach is pure gay, right? It's so-called Taoiseach. He's not even a bloody Taoiseach. Nobody voted him in. But anyway, that's the point. He was appointed in, be bloody Kenny. But anyway, he goes and he says, oh, Muslims have done so much for Ireland. Like, what have they done? Are you stupid gay man? If they had their way, they'd be throwing you off a bloody building. You're so stupid. But it's like, that's just, there's only a bit in the extremist, and there's only a few who believe that extreme way. Majority of Muslims, it's like, really, no. That's what they believe in. They all believe in that. But, even when it comes to those people being that stupid, and he's supposed to be a so-called Taoiseach, and he's that dumb, pure gay, sitting with Muslims saying how much they've done for Ireland. Well, I'm sure they're laughing, going, little do you know what we're going to do for Ireland, and you'll be the first one who'll receive it. As soon as we can get our power over, you'll be straight over some building stoned to death.
It wouldn't get death that kind of anybody else will get, yeah? It would be the most horrific death, yeah? That is thrown from the rooftop. They will be thrown from the rooftop, yeah?
Yeah.
Because everything got its own category. Women will be stoned. Men will be beheaded or lashed. The minimum thing in Islam you get, the punishment is 80 lashes. Actually, I've seen somebody who had 80 lashes. For 2 months, he couldn't literally sit or sleep on his.
I've seen pictures of this gorgeous girl, Iranian girl, actually, like yourself, and she had showed me her slashes all over her back. She got over 200 at different periods of times. One for sitting in a car. It was with a taxi, and she got pulled over, and the taxi man had said he was with her, as in, like, sexually. She wasn't. She was only a kid.
Yeah.
And I think she got 70 slashes for that. Another time, her hair, a tiny part of her hair came down. She got another, 50 for that. Another time for wearing nail varnish. I don't know what she got for that. But, like, her whole back is, like, ribbons of scars, like, horrific. Beautiful, beautiful girl, Annie Cyrus. Really, really lovely. Gorgeous.
Oh, yeah, Annie Cyrus, she's Iranian. She's Iranian Kurd.
Yeah, she's gorgeous.
Iranian Kurdish, yeah.
She's Kurd. I didn't know she was a Kurd. I knew her father was higher than Iman. Sheikh, yeah.
Sheikh, yeah. No, she's a Iranian Kurd anyway. I know. Annie Cyrus, she changed her name anyway. It's not that. But the worst of the lashes that you can get, people don't even know this. You might get up to 200 or 120 lashes in 3 times or 2 times Yeah, that is even worse
Yeah.
because first one, by the time they start coming to peel or heal, you get another 80 on top of it.
Oh, dear.
Imagine that would be death. I mean, that would be, I don't know, death wish. Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible. What really annoys me and really upsets me is the stupidity of leftists. If it was only just Muslims taking over Europe, I don't think they'd stand a chance. But the reason why they stand a chance, and more than a fucking good chance, is because the dumb scumbag leftist who hates Europe, hates their own country, and hates themselves. They are the ones, and unfortunately, they're in government. And that is the biggest problem. They've got into all governments. They're destroying it from the inside out. And until the other stupid leftists who are voting for them wake up and realise we're in trouble because of our governments, there's nothing that's going to happen.
You see, I
There's
did
too many
mention
in Ireland. There's more leftists than there is people who are right. I mean, they're very comfortable now, leftists, to hunt down people they feel that are conservative or right wing. They will hunt them down. They will take away their voices. They will take away their homes. They will take away their jobs. They will take away their lives. This is the new Ireland. If you're anyway conservative, they want you out in any way they can, or actually shut up. Not even out, but actually just cut off and broken. And that is what's happening. So that's why I'm advising people, look around. I think Eastern Europe is the way to go. I can't see, because Hungary has a fabulous.
No, I think they. I did explain this previously. I said, unfortunately, the Eastern Europe, as it was before, and now they call them Central Europe. Yeah, Central European countries. As you can see, his name is on it, Central. You are right in the middle. And when the Europe gets surrounded, now they call in Turkey to join Europe. Fully.
And they will happen. It'll absolutely happen. And because majority will rule, because that's part of the Lisbon Treaty, this is the reason why the Irish voted no to the Lisbon Treaty, because majority rules, the majority will be Muslim. So Europe will become an Islamic state overnight. And they will have to follow Islamic rules.
These Central European countries will be surrounded by Islamic countries in the future, right? Those who are now surrendered and given up to Islam, submitting to Islam, then will be surrounding these countries. It means sooner or later they have to get invaded, basically. They will invade it, because when you surrender, you're surrounded by the enemy. Then sooner or later you have to give up.
Because the army, once the PESCO army is established, it'll go in, and they've openly admitted that they will go into these right-wing countries, and they will take them out. So they will take the governments out once it's up and established. Once 2020 hits in, which is next year, we're all in for huge problems. That's when real problems happen next year. Lisbon Treaty kicks in. That army will be up and running, and anybody speaking out, they will go in and attack them. And then there will all be propaganda on the news. Hungarian, very, very dangerous man talking about racist stuff. Dangerous man. We had to go in there and kill the whole fucking country. And then plant loads of fucking Africans and Muslims in. So they're multicultural now. So much more happier.
A couple of things that I said, first of all, the European and the Muslims, the difference between them is that the European looks like they haven't learned from the history. They haven't learned from the lesson. The Muslim have. The Muslim remember what happened previous time, and they changed the tactic, they changed the strategy, how to get in now, and they've been successful. Now they got the money, they got the oil. Two most powerful things, right? And they bought everybody. Literally with their money, they bought everything and everybody's, existing. Why it is, now is the a very unique way of invasion. You got the invasion with invitation.
Yeah.
We
And
invited them
it wasn't
to
the
invade.
governments, but it was the governments who did it themselves. Like, it's the governments,
Yeah,
they got,
yeah,
whether they were planted, which I believe most of them are planted in, but they were paid off. I mean, Leo got in because of Kenny. Kenny planted him, but Kenny was paid off to destroy Ireland.
yeah. And these people
And he
thinking,
got in because Bertie Ahern had made a show of Ireland, as in, you know, he was kind of dodgy, wheeling and dealing and doing all sorts of stuff. So, you know, Ireland went for a yes man because they had such a wild character in Bertie Ahern that they went from such a dodgy dealer to a yes. And from a yes man, they went to a rent boy. They've literally just jumped.
the only thing remaining is all we need is people hopefully wake up. People, I think the only solution we got is to educate other people. Always I keep saying it. We have to educate our people. Yeah. This is the result of lack of education and information, because people been used as a useful idiots because they don't know their history, they don't know their religion, they don't know anything, and they have given up. The minute you're talking to these lovely European people, I'm not religious. But when they become religious, look, when they become Muslim or Hindu, they commit themselves 24/7. You look at one Irish or the English guy who become a Buddhist. 24/7. Even they change their room to a temple. Can you see the stupidity?
Yeah.
But when they are Christian, yeah, one day a week, one Sunday, come on, let's go to I'm having a hangover. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. Leave it. I'll do it next week.
Yeah.
This is the difference. This is where we have failed.
Absolutely.
Because we didn't
It's
bother. We didn't show
the problem.
commitment.
I think the problem with Ireland, I don't know, the UK is slightly different, was that it wasn't really a religion. It was mixed with patrioticism, which, you know, if you were Catholic, you were Irish, and if you were Protestant, you were British. It wasn't ever really based on Christianity, about the true faith of Christianity or following Jesus. It was very much politics and corruption within the church, and had been like that since independence, since Ireland had declared independence. They then Lear had got the Bishop McQuaid involved in it, and it become a very toxic sort of way. So people are very anti-religion, but they don't really understand the Christian religion. They understand the Catholic Church. You know, in the Catholic Church, there was an awful lot of toxic things that have happened, but it wasn't the Christianity. But they don't get that either. It's too much, Elvis. I really can't see them waking up or copying on, because they need to think clearly out, and they're not doing that.
Well,
And there's too much anger for the Catholic Church to do that.
well,
They really are angry, and, you know, they want to take on Islam as if they think it's going to upset the Catholic Church in some way. I mean, they're really going to cut off their nose to spite their face. They can't see it, Elvis. They really can't. You could bring them to an Islamic country. They would say, "Oh, this is only the extremists. Most Muslims don't believe it." You could bring them to, you know, a Muslim, you know, in a Christian country, and they're saying the same things as the extremists. They say, "Oh, that's only that person." They won't believe that all Muslims believe that. And we explain, yes, they do, because this is their religion. Not all of them understand it. And this is why you have peaceful Muslims in the UK 3 or 4 generations ago, because they weren't educated, so they couldn't read, they couldn't write, they didn't know their own religion. And that's why they were peaceful. They knew how to beat up their wives and have four wives. and, you know, many sex slaves. They probably knew that part of the religion, that was okay, but they didn't actually know the Quran. And that's why they were a lot safer than the ones coming 3 or 4 generations, because these ones are educated. The ones that are uneducated, the ones 3 or 4, were much safer. The ones that, the more educated they get, the more dangerous they are, because then they know the Quran, the Hadith, and the Sunnah, and they know what they're supposed to do.
Right.
When they didn't
That's
know
right.
that, they were safer.
That is an example of, for example, when I was talking about the Iranians, yeah? Iranians by name are Muslim, yeah?
Yeah.
But not a single of them they know their religion properly, because they are just Muslim by name, and you know, they just know a few bits and bobs, the basics to practice, yeah? They know how to
Yeah.
pray, they know how to do wuzu, they know how to do I don't know, a couple of surah and ayahs. That's all. That's all. Hmm?
And that was
Just to
probably what
carry
makes
on.
them
If you
safer.
ask any of these, if you ask any of these sort of little historical thing about Muhammad or Quran, they don't know. You see, but
Yeah.
as you said, the danger is when they deepen into it.
Yeah.
Then comes out and they get more, right? The problem is with these Irish people, that they don't know also that the Islam is not a religion such as the Christianity or the Buddhism or the Hinduism.
No.
Islam is the system. Islam is the
Ideology.
cult, and is the system, is the military, financial, and social system. It controls everything about you. It tells you how to walk, how to sleep, how to get up, how to eat, and how to even have a sexual relationship with your wife. Everything is controlled. And the Irish people, or majority of, unfortunately, people don't know this. When you talk, oh, you are Islamophobe, you're exaggerating a bit. No, I'm not exaggerating. I've been sitting in a pub with my friend, and the next table was it was sort of like a couple of gay people. We start talking to them. And when we start talking about the Islam, they start sort of like slightly moving away. And at the end, no, I don't think so. Muslims are nice people. No, I think you are a bit exaggerating. No, I think you are a bit Islamophobe. I told him, I said, did you know if you were in the Islamic country, how would you be punished? No, people say that, but I don't believe that. I said, no, hold on. You don't believe that because you're closing your eye from the fact and the reality, and you want to say, no, it's not such a thing because it's too scary to believe it.
Oh,
Are you going to
exactly
be
what they want to do. They just don't want to admit it, because then they have to admit that Islam is dangerous, which it is. Extremely dangerous for anybody.
because
And then you have to, once you admit that, then you have to work out that what is Islam? It's not a race. It's people who are born into it. Now, there is people who leave Islam. There's people who are born like yourself, Elvis, who is Christian in those countries, who are in danger in those countries, and they need asylum or they need help out. There is also people who are born in Islam and who have left. So how to take them out? You need ex-Muslims, you need Christians from those countries to give you information enough to work out a way of proving whether this person is safe for your country or not. And my thing is, if I had my way, I would say that you shouldn't allow any Muslims in. You can allow people in, but they cannot practice Islam in your countries. That would be my way. Stop all foreign investment, take all foreign mosques down, stop all foreign investments. That any Muslim obviously can come in, ex or whatever, can come in. But you obviously have to prioritise Christians in Muslim countries, and you have to prioritise ex-Muslims, people who are genuinely in danger. Muslims themselves aren't generally in danger in Islamic countries unless they've left Islam, and then they're in danger. But other than that, they're not in danger. So you should be protecting the ones that are actually in danger.
You see, the Muslims in majority of the Islamic country, including Iran, I did send you some videos. You saw it, that
Yeah.
their women, they uncover their hijab and kind of dancing and having a
Yeah.
party. They eat, drink,
What
they
was
do
that? That
everything.
was white.
Yeah.
Was that what was it? Black Friday, I think it was called. When they take off
No,
their hijab, and a lot of them heels.
Wednesdays. White Wednesday. Women of the Revolution Street, they call them.
Yeah.
You know, look, in even any country, any Muslim country you go, yeah, these Muslims are hypocrite. They drink, some of them even they eat pork. They say, oh, halal is haram. No, they do everything. Yeah,
Yeah.
they having a sex, they having
With
parties,
prostitutes
they having everything you name it. But when it comes to it, yeah, oh, no,
particularly the water.
why it is they don't have any problem in their countries. They really suffer. That the only thing is, yes, some of them they kind of they want to have the both of the worlds. Yeah, for example, look at this. For example, Somalis, they come in here. Yeah, they complain that they
Yeah.
didn't like the country or they are in danger in there or such and such. But when he comes here, still the guy Somali want to be a Muslim. He want to go to mosque. He want to hate the West.
Right.
Uh,
Yeah.
So hold on a minute. Why you didn't stay there then?
Yeah. And the hilarious thing is, when they get money, which they all do, off the dole and whatever,
Yeah,
they fly
yeah.
back to their own countries for holidays with their
Look,
suitcases all packed,
majority of them.
all nice things for their people back home. Like, it's absolutely a bloody joke. And taxpayers pay for this. It's ridiculous. The whole thing, while
Yeah,
Irish people are dying on the streets, are homeless, are
yeah,
being evicted from their homes, these people are being given homes that Irish aren't even allowed get. The Irish aren't even allowed rent or buy.
yeah.
They're directly being given, and the Irish taxpayers have to pay for these people being brought in for economic reasons. It's
Yeah.
a disgrace what's happening, and
Well,
absolutely a heartbreaking disgrace.
you have no idea. I know is a bit sort of going over time now, but I know some of these Somalis. They got a refugee status in 3 countries, not one, 3 countries. Yeah, they
Yeah.
getting a dole from here, they getting a dole from Sweden, and they're also going to America and they're taking a dole from there. Can you believe this?
I can't sure
And
one
they
of them
rent out
was
their houses.
who'd left the country, and I don't know which country, what part of Europe he went into, but he was still taking Irish child benefit. And the Irish government, because they tried to stop him from taking Irish child benefit, and he brought them to court, an European court, saying that you can take the benefits from when no, he went back home. Sorry, he went home and he was still claiming it, and he brought the Irish government to court, and they said, yeah, well, whatever part of Europe it is, you can still take it. It's ridiculous,
Yeah, yeah,
absolutely
because
ridiculous.
when we're being stupid, then it's not their fault, it's our fault, you know.
Oh, absolutely. What is our
Anyways,
government? It's insane. The whole thing is ridiculous. But anyway, Elvis, I've kept you long enough. We've had a great chat again, and we will chat
I
next
see.
week. Thank you so much for giving me your time. And I'm so sorry
Pleasure.
about
Thank
what
you.
you've been through. It's awful, awful times we're living in.
Bye.
And it's just getting worse, Elvis. I'm really giving up hope. I don't really see a future, and it's really,
No, don't,
really scary. But
don't
I
stop.
really wish that one day I could actually see light, but I just see bloody darkness, and I don't see it getting any better. You know, even with this Brexit, they're going to be capped in for a year. I don't know. I see Europe becoming Islamic in 5 years. I think it'll happen overnight, and I think there's so many people asleep.
Yeah, but this time I decided to stay. Not only I'm too old and I don't have the energy to actually run away from Islam and give up to Islam. Um, I decided to actually stay here, and if I'm supposed to die, I'm gonna die here, and fight it to the last minutes and the last drop of my blood. And this time I'm not gonna give up. By running away, you're making the enemy happier because there is one person less in front of them, to
Yeah.
fight. So I decided to stay, and join the army.
The problem is really fighting the left. And I can't wait until Islamics start fucking killing the left. But then, you know what, they're so stupid. You listen to them when they get raped or they get killed. You know, that they didn't report the rape in places like Sweden because, you know, they didn't want to cause Islamophobia. And then when they get killed, oh, we forgive them. We realise it was only one and he was mental. It wasn't anything to do with the Quran. No, he was mental or this or that. Hundreds of excuses, even when they get killed and raped. There's no hope. Really isn't. They just will not see it. Even when they're being killed or raped, they still think, oh, you know what, they'd rather go through the rape than to actually acknowledge. And then even when they do acknowledge it happened, sure, the police don't pay any attention. There's a taxi man in Ireland, Mohammed something, whatever, driving a taxi, and he was caught for sexually abusing 3 girls and admitting he sexually abused 3 men. He was given back his license and told he couldn't take girls in his car anymore or women in his car. Like, such fucking stupidity. Like, when you have the judges and you have government who has so little respect for the people, this is what you get.
That's right.
They're more interested in protecting Islam than they do about anyone's life.
All I'm hoping people to wake up to the reality, to the fact of Islam and what's happening around them and the governments, and they do something about it. That's the only hope I got. A miracle, literally.
A miracle. We have to pray for a miracle, I tell you. We really do. We need Jesus to come back, or we need a bloody miracle, because Europe is going. Anyway, Elvis, thank you so much for coming on. I hope it didn't depress you. I depressed myself because it was such an amazing...
No, we have to talk about it. It's not a depression. We have to talk about it. I mean, there is no choice. We better talk about it and get it out of chest rather than, you know, swallow it on our own. Anyway, have a lovely, lovely evening.
You too, and thank you so much, Elvis, for coming on. You're fabulous as per usual. Thank you for all your knowledge. I'm really trying to reach the Irish people. Thank you so much for trying to do this, because we need people like you, because they just don't believe people like me. And for you, like, to come on and explain it to them, and hopefully some of them, maybe one, even if it's one person who wakes up each time we do this, then you know what, that's a fucking good job we're doing. And maybe that one person could wake up another one person, and who knows, you know, let's hope. Anyway, thank you again, Elvis. You are fabulous, and thank you so much for coming on. Thanks you very much. On the box.
Take care of yourself. See you later. Bye-bye.
Enjoy your evening. The wonderful Elvis.
You are listening to Irish News Radio at irishnews.net. Email news@irishnews.net.